Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the game where you'll be rewarding for knowing the obscure rather than the obvious. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Jake. This is lovely Sarah, and we're from London.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm George. This is my lovely daughter Amy, and we're from Surrey.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Tomek. This is my friend Rohan, and we're students in Bristol.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Alison, and this is my partner Michael, and we're from North Hampshire.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, everybody. Very warm welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here with us, here again, in most cases. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, like a hired goon from a low-budget British gangster movie. It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Hello there.
Hello.
A lot of lovelies in the introductions there.
Oh, yes.
Tomek was having none of it, though. He absolutely,
Absolutely.
he absolutely cut it dead. We weren't carrying on with that. So someone had to. Someone had to stop it. It would have gone on forever. Welcome back to three pairs. Tomek and Rohan here for your final show. 2 round ones so far. So fingers crossed we see a little bit more of you this time. Also, third show, Jake and Sarah. Welcome back. Lovely to have you here. A couple of round twos for you. So it'd be lovely to see somebody in a head-to-head. Talking of head-to-heads, Michael and Alison, head-to-head last time, so congratulations. Amy and George, welcome. Lovely to have you here. We're all old pals. We do a special dance. Show how's the dance go?
Oh, we do a quadrille. Richard and I, well, I'll do my part.
Yeah.
Basically, I hop like this. Then I weirdly, I curtsy, and he bows like that. So, and then back like that. Then we hoit, and then hoit. And then it's like this. And then we come back to where we were. And then we swap partners and do the same.
I honestly did not think you would commit to that as much as you did. I mean, absolute fair play to you.
Oh, there we go. I'm now quite hot. Or perhaps embarrassed. I don't know. One
you
of the
know
two.
what? You've never been hotter.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and Strictly still not on the phone. I don't understand it.
Amazing.
There we go. Yeah, now listen, shall I do my bit?
Yeah, go on.
I mean, no, not the dance, not the dance. OK, now, Joyce and Martin didn't win the jackpot last time, which means we're adding another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £3,500. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, just remember, it will always be the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated, so for as long as your scores are low, you have nothing to fear. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category this afternoon is title characters. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns first names of eponymous characters. Richard.
Yep, I'm going to show you the names on each board of 7 different novels or books that are the name of one of the characters, but we're missing off their first name. We'll just show you the first initial. Can you tell us what the first names of these characters are, please? 7 on the way up, 7 on the way down, 14 in all to have a go at home. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our first board of eponymous characters missing their first names. And here we go. We have got R. Crusoe, Daniel Defoe. S. Marner, George Eliot. B. Rudge, Charles Dickens. A. Gray, Anne Bronte. E. Onegin, Alexander Pushkin. M. Poppins, P.L. Travers. And A. Fowl, Owen Colfer. There we are. Jake, welcome back. Welcome back. Getting in the zone now. This is your third and final attempt at the Pointless trophy. Whew. Tell us more about yourself, Jake.
I do enjoy playing guitar, I must admit.
Oh, do you?
I do.
A classical or
Acoustic.
Or acoustic?
I've got a few rules. Only James Blunt songs allowed.
Only James Blunt?
Yeah, only. I have considered branching out, but...
Why would you? I mean, why would anyone?
The risk outweighs the reward.
Do you play standing up or do you play sitting down with a little stool?
I play lying down, actually, on the floor, like staring at the ceiling.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
Oh, that's great. Have you got a mobile or something up there? Maybe a
Got a
James
mirror,
Blunt?
just so I can admire myself, that sort of thing.
That's good.
So
OK.
a proper setup.
Very good. Gosh, you've thought this through.
I have.
Very good indeed. Now, Jake, the board.
Well, I don't like literature, but luckily one of my favourite childhood books is up there.
From the time before you stopped liking literature?
Precisely. There was one book, I don't like to talk about it.
OK, from the before times?
Exactly, and it all changed since then. But before I read that book, I very much enjoyed the Artemis Fowl series. So for the last one, I'll say Artemis Fowl, please.
Wow. Did you just overdo it? Was it like some people have with gin, where they just drink so much gin they can never drink gin again?
I mean, that is the perfect analogy. Thank you, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, you're going to go for Artemis Fowl. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that for Owen Colfer. Down it goes, not bad at all. 23, great start to the round. 23 for Artemis.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first book in. It's a sort of child genius, Artemis Fowl, and that was the first book. Jake's come out of himself, hasn't he, since the last couple of shows?
I know.
Lying on the floor playing the guitar to James Blunt.
Yeah,
Not liking literature.
I know.
We're seeing a new side of him.
I know.
Yeah.
There we are.
Means business.
I think he does.
Yeah, I think he does.
I think it does. Thank you very much indeed. Now, George, welcome. Good to have
Hi.
you here on
Hiya.
Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm 65 years old. I'm retired, but I've actually had almost 40 jobs in my time, so I've moved around a bit.
I'll say you have. I mean, give us some highlights.
I've been a butcher, a baker, and I've been a candlestick maker.
Now, hang on. That sounds a bit
All
past
right,
to me.
the candlestick maker's a bit of a stretch. I used to work in the Kensington High Street for the antiques downstairs, repairing, polishing up candelabra type antiques.
No, I think candlestick maker, that's good
And
enough.
obviously a butcher, baker wasn't a stretch at all. It's just I worked in a bakery and a butcher shop.
What was the last job you did?
The last job I did was working for Screwfix.
That's just brilliant. George, you are so welcome here.
Thank you.
What are you going to go for on our board?
There's a couple, obviously, they're obvious. Yeah, all right, I'm going to go for number 2, Silas Marner.
Silas Marner for the George Eliot, says George. Let's see how many of our 100 people agree with George. Silas Marner. It is Silas Marner. There we are, down to 33. Not bad at all.
Well played, George. Yes, a lovely answer. George Eliot, or Mary Ann, as she was in the Oxford Dictionary, she's cited as the first person ever to use the term pop music.
Really?
Yeah.
Short for popular?
Yeah, again, not quite referring to what we would do now, but in a piece about chamber music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Tomek, welcome back for the third and final time.
I know.
OK, tell us more about yourself.
So I'm a music student at Bristol, and I also work for a charity called Oddballs.
What does Oddballs?
We look at raising awareness for testicular cancer.
It's such a good thing to do. So important and so easily cured if you find it.
Exactly,
So
find it
that's
early.
fantastic. Yeah, absolutely right. Good for you, Tomek.
Thank you.
Now, our board here. Our board of eponymous characters.
Not good.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, come on, Tomek. We've got a
We're
record.
going to have to go for the glaringly obvious Mary Poppins.
OK, Mary Poppins. Let us see. Is Mary Poppins right? How many of our 100 people said it? It is right. I didn't have time to say or anything beyond It's right. But 91 of our 100 people got that. Sorry.
Yeah, that book was illustrated by Mary Shepherd, who is the daughter of E.H. Shepherd, who used to do all the Winnie the Pooh illustrations.
Well, I never.
It's a talented family, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we are. Now, Alison, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us again. Tell us more about yourself.
So apart from working, I love exercising to keep up with my work, but I love travelling, and I've been lucky enough to travel to a lot of countries in my life. My dad worked for an oil company, so I moved around a lot when I was younger. And when I can't travel, I like to read about travelling.
Oh, well, that's just perfect. Of all the places you lived, what was your favourite?
I really liked Western Australia. Beautiful place.
What fun. So how long were you in each place?
So we pretty much moved around every 4 years.
Right.
So
Oh, it's slightly tantalising, is it? Just when you're beginning to really love a place, whoop, on you go.
exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough to make good friends as well.
Yeah. Plenty of bad ones, but no. Yeah. Alison, this board's all yours, by the way. Do you want
I
to talk
know, and
through
I
the
feel
blanks?
really sad that I don't know more, but I have to go for the top one, which is Robinson Crusoe.
Robinson Crusoe. OK, well, let's see where we end up with Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe is right. Goes down to 81. Well, that's nice. You're keeping Tomek and Rohan some company up there at the top.
Yeah, let's fit in this. I bet you can fit in the rest of this board. I'm assuming Rudge
Barnaby.
would have scored 28 Gray.
Is it Amelia? Agnes Grey. Agnes Grey.
Agnes Gray, yeah. Well done. 6 points. And Onegin?
Eugene.
Eugene Onegin, absolutely. And that would have scored 7. So Agnes Gray, best answer on the board. Well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are halfway through our round. Let's have a look at those scores. 23, Jake, best score of the past. Then 33 is where we find George and Amy. Then 81 is where we find Alison and Michael. And then 91 is where we find Tomek and Rohan. So, Rohan, again, you know what you have to do in the next pass. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more eponymous characters up on the board, all missing their first names, and here they are. J. Eyre, Charlotte Bronte. L. Doon, R.D. Blackmore. B. Linden, William Makepeace Thackeray. D. Claiborne, Stephen King. E. Froome, Edith Wharton. I. Leroy, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. And A. Karenina, Leo Tolstoy. There we are. Michael, welcome back. Tell us more about yourself.
So I work in IT. In my spare time, keen golfer. And I'm also partway through what is now a very long-running quest to obtain a pilot's licence. So
How far through it are you?
Well, it's taken me 20 years so far. And I'm about halfway. Combinations of time and money and children have got in the way along
This
the
is
way.
your PPL.
Yes.
And you've got to get... How many hours do you have to get in?
You have to do a minimum of 40, and then there's a load of exams you have to
Okay,
pass, and medicals, which are getting tougher for me now.
I mean, do you foresee a time when you can commit to it a bit more? Or is
Hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years.
Good. Well, very, very best of luck with it, Michael. It'll be so exciting. Michael, you are on 81. What are you going to go for on our board here?
There's one that I'm very sure of, and one that would be a bit of a guess. I think on 81, I'm going to go for a bit of a guess. I'm going to go for the 4th one and say Dolores.
Dolores Claiborne. Let's see if that is right. Here is your red line. What happens when we say Dolores Claiborne? It's right. That must have come from somewhere, Michael. Very well done indeed. Well done putting your faith in that. It's pretty good. 15. Best score of the round so far, taking your total up to 96.
Well played, Michael. Very brave. Yeah, it was made into a film as well, as so many Stephen King novels are, and starred Kathy Bates just after she'd starred in Misery.
Thank you very much, Richard. Rohan, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us again for the 3rd and final time.
Yes.
Tell us more about yourself.
So I'm a medical student at Bristol, and then in my spare time I enjoy snow sports. So I just joined the uni snow sports society, so hopefully I should be going on a ski trip with them soon.
So snow sports, I mean, I'm thinking of snowboarding and skiing. What else am I missing from that?
Well, that's pretty much
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
OK, so, right, alpinism.
Exactly.
So one way or another, No, you don't do any sort of freestyle jumps or...
I wish I could be able to.
tobogganing.
I do enjoy a tobogganing trip.
A bit of competitive tobogganing.
Could do bobsleigh.
Bit of bobsleigh.
Oh, yeah.
Who says we can't do that? Or maybe one of the other terrifying skeleton-type things. Or
Luge.
Luge.
Yeah.
These are just some ideas I'm throwing out there, Rohan.
I'm picking them up.
Yeah,
I think we can
good.
run with this.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Now, listen, you're on 91. We need a score of 4 or less.
I don't think I can supply a score of 4 or less, to be honest. There are 2 there which I'm confident on, but they're pretty safe. I'm going to go with the bottom one. I'm going to say Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina, says Rohan. Here is your red line. It's very far down the column, but let's see how far down the column we can get with Anna Karenina. It is right, Anna Karenina. Goes down to 58, takes your total up to 149.
Yeah, based on a number of people, supposedly, Anna Karenina, including the daughter of Pushkin from the first board, who wrote Eugene Onegin, his daughter Maria, one of the inspirations for Anna Karenina.
Fascinating. Thank you very much indeed. Richard, now, Amy, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm 29. I'm a chartered accountant. I've worked in finance for about 8 years now.
And what do you do for fun, Amy?
So I actually play bowls, lawn green bowls, and I have done since I was 13, which is a bit unusual for my age, but all of my family play. So that's my main hobby.
That's great. What fun. Are you a hot bowler? You're pretty good.
I'm not too bad. I won the in-club ladies' championship back in 2011 against my mum in the final.
There's my answer. There's my answer. George also very sweetly gave me a little nod. Spoke volumes. Yeah, OK, good. Amy, you're on 33. You are through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you score. What are you going to go for?
So literature isn't really my strongest subject either. So I only knew 2 and Anna Karenina's gone, so I'll go for Jane Eyre, which is
Jane
the top one.
Eyre, says Amy. No red line, you're already through. How many people said Jane Eyre? 85 for Jane Eyre takes your total up to 118.
That's a big score, but one of our 100 said John.
John Eyre.
John
Nice.
Eyre, yeah.
That's nice. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Sarah, welcome back again for your third and final chance to win the jackpot. Tell us more about yourself.
So I work in digital communications, but in my spare time, I like to read. I'm an avid reader. Fortunately, not very familiar with much of these classics, but also like art and travelling as well.
Lovely. OK, now, talk us through this board if you can.
So the ones I knew are gone. So I'm going to have to take a guess. I will go with E from an Eli.
OK, Eli Froome for Edith Wharton. Let's see if Eli Froome is right. No red line, you're already through. Not Eli, but a good choice of first name. Why not? Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 123.
Yeah, same sort of era name, this one. It's Ethan Froome. Ethan is the answer, and that would have scored you 4 points. Doone. Lorna Doone would have scored 51. Lyndon. This was a Kubrick movie as well.
Barry Lyndon. It is Barry Lyndon.
Would have scored 10. And this is the best answer on the board. Iola Leroy is the answer. Very well done if you said that's a pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, that brings us to the end of our first round. It means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, look, you know, you've been consistent. This is good. Rohan and Tomek, I mean, your grouping is perfect.
Thank you.
I just wish we'd seen you beyond the first round, because I don't feel we got a chance to test you. I think there have been some fun rounds you'd have done really well in. But there we are. We have to say goodbye now. But thank you so much for playing, Rohan and Tomek. But for the remaining three pairs, it is now time for round two. There we are, down to three pairs. Very well done, everybody, for making it through that round. Michael, you were our lowest individual scorer. Well done to you, sir. And in fact, Michael and Alison, our lowest combined scorers. So very well done on that far podium. Jake and Sarah, this is your last show. We can't say goodbye to you in the second round. We just can't. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round two this afternoon is United States Geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second, and whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many US states that share land borders with 4 or more other states as they could. Richard?
Yeah, looking for exactly that. To give you an idea, there are 34 states on that list, so well more than half. There's lots of them that border other places, if you know what I mean. It's not unusual in America to have 4 or more borders.
There we are. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. OK, so Jake, I think you looked quite pleased with this as a category.
I wouldn't have been a few months ago, but with my new job, I've learned quite a lot about the states. However, I don't know where they are geographically within the states. But I'm going to take South Carolina, please.
South Carolina, says Jake. Let's see how many of our 100 people said South Carolina. No, it may not be the last incorrect answer of the round, but I'm afraid it is certainly the first. Scores 100 points. Sorry, Jake.
Sorry, Jake, only borders 2 other states, South Carolina. I'm not allowed to mention them, although we can probably guess one of them.
I can guess one. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, George.
I'm not that great. I know all the states, but with this chap here, I don't know exactly where they are. So I'm trying to go for a sort of central state, a big state. So I'm going to try for Wyoming.
Wyoming, says George. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Wyoming. Is right. It's a great answer. Look at that, down to 5. Very well done indeed, George. 5 for Wyoming.
Yeah, it borders 6 states, Wyoming. It borders a state I can't mention, a second state I can't mention, a third one I can't mention, the fourth one which I can't mention, the fifth one I can't talk about, and there's a sixth one which I also can't mention. The state dinosaur is the Triceratops, though. I can say that.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I was wondering which dinosaur it would have gone for. So glad it was the TCT.
I like a Triceratops. They used to roam wild in Wyoming way back when.
I think they used to roam wild in Chiswick, and I was going to say, oh, did they?
Yeah, Triceratops.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. There we are. So, Michael.
Similar to the others, I feel like I know most of the states, but picturing where they are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to apply a similar logic to George and try and pick one that is hopefully correct. I'm going to say Georgia.
Georgia, says Michael. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 said Georgia. Georgia is right. It's another great answer, down to 5. There we are, 5 for Georgia.
Yeah, and it borders 5 states as well, Georgia. I like the fact you said you're going to be inspired by George and you literally just stole his name. That's the way to do it.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Well, just before we head back up the line, let's have a look at those scores. Just 2 scores between the 3 pairs. 5 is the best score. Michael, Alison, George and Amy sitting on 5. 100 is where we find Jake and Sarah. I mean, given that this is it's slightly Russian roulette, this one. 2 more opportunities for somebody to slip up from your point of view. Let's see what happens. We'll need a low score from you, though, Sarah. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second pairs please step up to the podium? OK, now then, Alison, remember, we're looking for any US state that shares a land border with at least 4 other US states.
OK, I'm going to go with Kansas.
Kansas, says Alison. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kansas. There's your red line. It's right, and you're through. OK, down to 9. That takes your total up to 14.
It's a very good answer. Yeah, that borders 4 states, none of which I can mention because none of them have been mentioned yet. At some point, one of these will border somewhere that I am allowed to mention. That'd be lovely.
Nice. That'd be nice. Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Amy, everything is now hanging in the balance for Sarah and Jake here. You're on 5. If you can score 94 or less, you're through.
Yeah, similar to everyone else, just can't picture where states are on the map. So I'm going to go for Mississippi.
Mississippi, says Amy. Here is your red line. Let's see if you can get below this red line with Mississippi. It's right, and you're through. Very well done indeed. Goes down to 8. Takes your total up to 30.
Very well done again. That's 4 states. And again, I can't mention any of them, which is statistically...
Curious.
Curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Richard. Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. Well, there we are. You are the high scorers. But let's have a great answer from you.
So I do know all the states. I just don't know where they are. So I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Why not?
Let's see. Arkansas. Is that right? How many people said it? No red line. You are the high scorers. Arkansas is right. Down that goes to 9. Very well done indeed. Good score. Takes your total up to 109.
Well played, everyone in that round. Even South Carolina, North Carolina, believe it or not, was a correct answer. Would have scored 12 points. But some really, really good answers there. The most states that you can border is 8. Tennessee and Missouri both border 8 states. I'm going to take you through the low scores. There's no pointless answers here at all. 5 points for Minnesota, for Montana. 4 points for Indiana, Massachusetts, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma and Oregon. 3 points for Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. And 2 points, the best 3 answers you could have gone for, Maryland, Missouri, West Virginia.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And that brings us to the end of our second round. Means we have to say goodbye to another pair, Sarah and Jake. I'm afraid it's you we have to say goodbye to. It's been lovely having you on the show. We've never seen you beyond round 2, though. And it's almost like it was just, you're in a rut here.
Yeah.
Jake, you were just fulfilling your rut destiny there. I'm sorry, this is where we say goodbye. Lovely having you on the show, as I say, Sarah and Jake. But for the 2 remaining pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Michael and Alison, Amy and George. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £3,500. But before we play the head-to-head, we have an opportunity to boost that jackpot a bit by seeing if we can't find a couple of pointless answers. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many garden tools as they could. Richard.
Yeah, as always, there's going to be 2 pointless answers up there, things that are garden tools which no one mentioned. There's also going to be 2 incorrect answers which we made up. But which is the question. The good news is that statistically, George must have been a garden tool salesman at some point. Must have been.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. OK, so let's reveal our 6 potential pointless garden tools, and here they are. Tiller, grubber. Aerator, Burnett. Come on, hula ho. There we go. So, I mean, feel free to speak as a foursome.
Tiller is obviously.
Yeah, Tiller's definitely.
The top three, I feel, are all.
Aerator, I think,
I was gonna
is.
say
Yeah.
I think aerate is, but would it be a pointless answer? I
Yeah.
don't know.
So,
I think we should
I think
go
a
with grubber.
grubber.
A hula ho. I mean, I'm not sure. I think that's a trick one, that one.
Yeah.
Command.
That's possible, isn't it?
It's always pick the one you can't pronounce properly.
OK, so Michael and Alison, you get to go first. What are you going to go for?
We're going to go with grubber.
Grubber. Grubber, say Michael and Alison. Is that a pointless garden tool? It's a garden tool. And I think we might have worked out which ones were the garden tools people had heard of. But anyway, let's not preempt. Ah, that's a pointless answer. Very well done indeed. Very well done indeed. Now, Amy and George, what are you going to go for?
Whatever you want.
We're going to try come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on, come on.
Come on, OK, come on. Is it a pointless gardening tool? That's the point. Oh, no. Oh, well.
Give it a go.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Exactly.
There we are. Thank you.
Yeah, 1 out of 2 ain't bad in this round. Yeah, that's it's the stick they use in hurling or shinty, the Kaman. You very cleverly worked out between the 4 of you that Tiller and Aerator were the ones that would have scored points. So Burnett and Hula Ho, one of those is real and one of those is made up.
Well, no, Secret Garden's written by Burnett. That will be the thing I was about to say. But so Hula Ho, oh, that sounds fun. I'm guessing Hula Ho must be the...
I think Hula Ho is right. Do you agree at home? You're absolutely right. And you're right, Francis Hodgson Burnett wrote The Secret Garden. Hula Ho is it's a type of hoe.
All right, OK.
Yeah, I don't know if you need more information, but it's a type of, it's a hoe variety.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Well, listen, we managed to find 1 pointless answer, so very well done indeed. That means we can add £250 to the jackpot, take the total up to £3,750. But who'll be paying for that? Let's find out in the head-to-head. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You're now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Best of luck to both pairs. Here is our first question this afternoon, and it's all about actors in the Muppets films. Richard.
Yep, 5 pictures now of actors who've appeared in Muppet films at some point in their career.
Excellent. Let's reveal our 5 actors in Muppet films, and here they come. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. OK. Now then, Michael and Alison, you're our golden couple, so you will go first. Feel free to confer.
No, the first one. We just can't think of it.
Yeah, that's really annoying. So we're going to have to go for... Yeah.
We'll go for B, which we think is Liza Minnelli.
B, Liza Minnelli. Now, Amy and George, it's over to you. Talk us through that board.
A is...
Mel Brooks.
C is Jennifer Saunders. I'm not sure on D, and I think E is Chloe Moretz. Do you want to...
Yeah, we're going for E, Chloe Moretz.
Chloe Moretz.
Chloe Moretz for E. OK, so we have Liza Minnelli and we have Chloe Moretz. B, Liza Minnelli is what Michael and Alison are putting forward. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. It is Liza Minnelli. That goes down to 65. Meanwhile, Amy and George have gone for Chloe Moretz. Let's see if that is right for E. And how many of our 100 people said it? Chloe Moretz. It is right. And it wins you the point. Very well done indeed, George and Amy. And that goes down to 10. That's a great score. And it means after 1 question, you're up 1-0.
Terrific answer. Yeah, very well played there. Chloe Grace Moretz. She was in Muppets Most Wanted, also in that Christoph Waltz, Ray Liotta, Salma Hayek was in that. And Liza Minnelli was in the Muppets Take Manhattan. John Landis was in that. Brooke Shields is in it as well, all sorts of people. A, you are absolutely right, it was Mel Brooks. He would have scored you 16. He was in the Muppet movie in 1979. Richard Pryor was in that. How about this recast? Richard Pryor, Telly Savalas, Steve Martin, Orson Welles, Mel Brooks. Jennifer Saunders, you're quite right. She was in Muppet Treasure Island. Billy Connolly also in that. Look at this for a score, 75 for Jennifer Saunders.
So brilliant.
And the best answer on the board is D, and that is the brilliant Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, amongst other things. And that would have scored 7. And he was in The Muppets from 2011. Whoopi Goldberg in that, Emily Blunt, Mickey Rooney, Dave Grohl in that movie as well.
Wow.
That's a really good film.
I haven't seen that one. Sounds great. Thank you very much indeed. OK, now, here comes your second question. Now, here's the thing. Michael and Alison, you've got to win this one to stay in the game. Slightly tilted in Amy and George's favour because they get to answer it first. Best of luck. Our second question is all about butterflies. Richard.
Yep, 5 clues to things and facts related to butterflies.
OK, let's reveal our 5 butterfly clues, and here they come. We've got woman who played lead character Rhea Parkinson in the 1970s TV sitcom Butterflies. Breed of toy dog with wing-shaped ears and a name that translates from French as butterfly. Composer of the 1904 opera Madame Butterfly. Turner Prize-winning artist who created a downloadable artwork in 2020 called Butterfly Rainbow. And former world heavyweight champion boxer who co-wrote the 2004 book The Soul of a Butterfly. There we are. Now, Amy and George will go first.
Do you know the box?
This is about flight, go for
Yeah, yeah, we'll go for it.
OK,
Amy and George.
we're going to try the top one. I think it was Wendy Craig.
Wendy Craig playing the lead character in Butterflies. Now, Michael and Alison. Do you want to talk us through that board?
Not really.
Not really. I think we'll take a stab that the bottom former heavyweight is Muhammad Ali.
Why not? So we have Wendy Craig versus Muhammad Ali. There we are, seconds out.
That'd be a fight.
Amy and George, let's find out how many of our 100 people said Wendy Craig for Butterflies. Wendy Craig is right. 31 for Wendy Craig. Meanwhile, Michael and Alison have gone for Muhammad Ali for the bottom one, The Soul of a Butterfly author. How many of our 100 said Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali is right. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, 39 for Muhammad Ali. Which means, look at that, Amy and George. After only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final 2-0. Brilliant.
Yeah, very well played. And yeah, as you say, if in the 70s, Muhammad Ali versus Wendy Craig, imagine the pay-per-view revenues.
Wow.
But yeah, well done, Ali, because of course you always said floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. We had the soul of a butterfly as well. The Reflections on Life's Journey was the subtitle of that book. Now, the breed of toy dog, French for
Papillon.
Papillon.
Where?
Where? That is French for a butterfly. Very well done. Would have scored you 25 points. Now, Mr. Classic FM, who's the composer of the opera?
That's Puccini.
Puccini?
Giacomo Puccini.
Oh, really? No, that 22 points for that. Do you play a lot of opera on your Classic FM breakfast show?
Not as much as I'd like. But,
Oh, you're having trouble with the station bosses?
No,
You're like banging on the door saying, I want more opera.
No, but
and they go, oh, no, we won't have that modern music here. Who was this man? Who was this Armstrong boy who's coming to our door? But you play opera.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Okay.
we do. We do play a lot of opera.
Yeah.
We do.
I know that because I listen.
Yeah, yeah.
Remind me of the times?
9 till midday.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 in the evening till midday the next day.
Yes,
That's
right.
Wow,
Oh, it is
15
a long
hours.
slot.
So whatever you are playing, it's working.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
all I'm going to
That's
say.
good. I'm very pleased with that. Thank
And the Butterfly Rainbow. This is someone who's famously done butterfly paintings.
Well,
all sorts
Damien
of-
Hirst.
Damien Hirst, absolutely. But this is quite an obscure question, and it was a pointless answer. So very
Look
well
at
done if you had a little guess at Damien Hirst there.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Michael and Alison, I'm afraid it's you. You came into this as our golden couple. You've got one more show, though. One more show. So I think next time, exactly the same podium, only we take it one step further. But meantime, thank you very much for playing and playing so well, Michael and Alison. But for Amy and George, it's time for the Pointless Final. Congratulations, Amy and George. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless Trophy. You now have a chance to win the Pointless Jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £3,750. Well, what about that? You've just come for one show. I mean, George, you said you've done 40 jobs. Looks like you've done 41. You've just done a job on Pointless. Fantastic.
But also, everyone else was a returning pair.
I know.
Did you just show up?
I was lucky. I was lucky because of my age, because Wendy Craig was my 70s. And
Oh, really?
A young couple.
Tell us more.
Well, not quite, but I remembered it. I remembered the show, that's all.
The stage is set, I think, for a thrilling, nail-biting, shall we say, final round. What do you want to see come up in this last round? What's going to help you win that jackpot?
TV and film.
TV film, or 80s music, and it's not for me. My daughter is obsessed with 80s. I know more modern stuff than she does. All she likes is 80s music.
Yeah.
And if it comes up, we'll be okay. She's got a great memory, which I have not got.
OK, will one of these things appear on your board? Here we go. We've got Hollywood stars of the 1960s, Cornish art and entertainment, the 2020 Tour de France, Paul Weller.
Yeah.
Hollywood stars of the 1960s at that time, yeah.
OK, Hollywood stars of the 1960s.
Hey, very quick. OK, we're looking for any of the following, please. We're looking for any feature film made for cinema release starring any of the following, please. We are looking for any Sidney Poitier film. We are looking for any Debbie Reynolds film. Or we are looking for any Shirley MacLaine film, please. So according to IMDb, any film for which one of those three actors was credited. Very, very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. As always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yeah.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Heat of the night.
Okay. I've got a clue.
Guess who's coming to dinner? And To Serve with Love.
Okay.
I'm not sure, Debbie, I know them all, but I'm not sure the films. Shirley MacLaine done that musical, but I can't remember what it was. It was a big, mind you, a big musical, so most people know it. So I think we should go with them 3 films.
If you know 3,
I can't think of any more obscure films. There was one with Tony Curtis when he was on a chain gang. They escaped. I can't remember the name of it. So what did I say? To Serve with Love. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And In the Heat of the Night.
Okay.
And I'll try to think of any more. I don't think they're any pointers now.
It's 3 answers. I can't think of any, so...
10 seconds
go with
left.
them.
I think we'll have to.
Yeah.
They're all definitely films of his, so
Yeah.
it gives us 3 shouts, doesn't it?
Yep.
OK.
Yeah, we're ready.
So there we are. Your minute's running out there, and it sounds like you've got 3 good answers.
Yeah, we're all
What can
going
you
with
give me?
Sydney.
OK.
In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
To Serve with Love.
To Serve with Love.
And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I think Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, maybe, because it was a comedy with Spencer Tracy, so people might not know that one.
OK, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner we'll put last. Least likely to be
The
pointless?
Heat of the Night was one of his big breakthrough movies, so it was Rod Steiger, it was just a classic, so I think a lot of people know that one.
OK, The Heat of the Night we'll put in first, and To Serve with Love we put in the middle. OK.
Yeah.
Well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We've got In the Heat of the Night, To Serve with Love, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Well, very, very well done. 3 good answers there. Well, there's a jackpot of £3,750 up for grabs. What would you like to do if you were to win that?
Well, I'll take my half, and my 3 grandchildren, that's
Hattie,
Evie, which is Amy's,
Evie,
and there's a new one, Maddie,
and Maddie.
which is Debbie, my stepdaughter's children, so...
I
Just
mean,
3
I'll tell
ways
you
split.
what, George is clearing up a lot of admin there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He knows it might be the last thing he says on the show. He's saying, I'm going to mention everyone in my family.
Yes, I think
Very nicely done.
my granddaughter Hattie understands a little bit, so she'll be able to move with that.
Very, very good indeed. OK, Amy, what about you?
So, yeah, I just had my first baby in June, Evie, so she's
Lovely.
my little baby at home. So I'll just spoil her and buy her loads of stuff.
OK, well, very, very well done indeed. Let's hope one of these answers wins that jackpot for you. Your first, in all 3 cases, we're looking for Sidney Poitier films. Your first one is In the Heat of the Night. If this is pointless, you will leave here with a jackpot of £3,750. How many people said In the Heat of the Night? It's right. It is right. If that goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £3,750. In the Heat of the Night, Sidney Poitier film, taking us down through the teens to 15. OK. I don't think we were holding out great hopes for In the Heat
that
of
was
the Night.
a classic.
Yeah, as you say. So, To Serve with Love is our next Sidney Poitier film. Again, we are hoping this is pointless. There's £3,750 riding on it. How many people said To Serve with Love? It's right. In the Heat of the Night was right, took us all the way down to 15. To Sir with Love now takes us down through the 20s, through the teens. 16 to Sir with Love. OK, let's turn to your third and final answer. Guess who's coming to dinner? We're still with Sidney Poitier. You were pretty sure this was your best shot.
I think so.
Let's hope. Let's hope this is a pointless answer and wins you that jackpot. Let's find out. How many people said, guess who's coming to dinner?
Well, that's right.
Well, it's right. Your first answer in the Heat of the Night took us down to 15. Your second answer, To Sir with Love, took us down to 16. Guess who's coming to dinner now takes us down, oh, look at that, 12.
Here we go.
Oh, bad luck. Well,
That's really close.
it was lovely to hear you go through all your reasonings, and it sounded like you came up with 3 really good answers. I hope they might score a bit lower than that. But there we are. I'm afraid you didn't manage to find the all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but you do win today's trophy. So
That's all we
well
want.
done for that. You've done so well. It's been lovely having
Thank
you on
you
the
very
show,
much.
Amy and George.
Yeah, very well played. It's been lovely having you here and lovely to chat about Sidney Poitier for a little while, to be honest, and think
Yeah,
about some of his films.
brilliant.
The film you were thinking about with Tony Curtis and Sidney Poitier was The Defiant Ones.
Defiant.
Would have scored 1 point.
Oh, no good then,
Or
yeah.
would have been exciting for us. But,
I thought that one might have a chance because
yeah.
it's like an old...
Yeah.
Tony Curtis, yeah.
Let's start, shall we, with Sidney Poitier. All of these were pointless answers. A Raisin in the Sun, Blackboard Jungle. It's a pointless answer. No Way Out, that was his first movie. Paris Blues as well. Everything was pointless apart from the 3 you gave us already and the Defiant Ones. They Called Me Mr. Tibbs, which is a follow-up to In the Heat of the
yeah, I
Night.
can remember
And
that.
Lilies of the Field. Everything else was pointless answer. Those are the only ones that scored points. Now, on to Debbie Reynolds. She voices Charlotte the Spider in Charlotte's Web. Mother, the Tender Trap.
Yeah, and the Tender Trap, I don't know.
Yeah, you go. There's a pointless answer. What's the Matter with Helen? No spoilers, but it was a gluten allergy, it turns out, in the end. The only ones that scored points for Debbie Reynolds would have been Singing in the Rain, of course, Tammy, How the West Was Won, and The Unsinkable Molly Brown. Everything else was a pointless answer. Moving on now to Shirley MacLaine. Postcards from the Edge. Now, funnily enough, in that, because that's based on the Carrie Fisher novel, and Meryl Streep plays the Carrie Fisher character, Shirley MacLaine plays the mother, so Shirley MacLaine is essentially playing Debbie Reynolds in that film. There you go. Some Came Running. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty was a pointless answer. The Turning Point. The only ones that scored points for Shirley MacLaine. 2 Mules for Sister Sarah. The Apartment. Sweet Charity. Steel Magnolias would have scored points. Terms of Endearment. Being There would have scored points. Noel, The Last Word, and The Trouble with Harry. Again, no spoilers, but The Trouble with Harry was lactose intolerant. There it is.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, Amy and George. I'm sorry you didn't win the jackpot today. That'll therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £4,750. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.